Hello there, this is the Shadow Ranger, and I'm just here to talk about a few different wrestling topics. Got a few notes here, some things I want to talk about, so I'll just go through each thing as I have them listed. I'm also going to do my Elimination Chamber predictions in this video. Something that's happened, and all the excitement of the 22111 promo and the return of The Rock this week, there was something that happened a few weeks ago and that people aren't talking about as much, and something that when they were talking about it I didn't hear anybody bring up, and I only thought about it like a day ago, so I decided I'd talk about it. Booker T and Kevin Nash returned to the WWE at the Royal Rumble. Booker T is now an announcer on SmackDown, and Nash has supposedly signed to a Legends deal and may be doing something down the road. And with the 22111 promo, there's a possibility that Sting may be coming to the WWE. And something I thought about yesterday that I hadn't heard anybody else mention: how is this going to affect the possibility of people jumping ship between the companies? Booker T and Kevin Nash and Sting all have friends in TNA, and Nash left on good terms, and if Sting is left, then he's left on good terms too. And, they'll help their friends. Maybe Vince is looking for somebody new, and Nash recommends a TNA guy, and Vince tries to scoop him up. Nash has always spoken highly of Eric Young, Robert Roode, AJ Styles. He's spoken highly of Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe's contract expired a little while ago, and it was rumored that he waited to see that before he re-signed with TNA. He waited. No, not Joe. Not Samoa Joe. Sorry, Eric Young. That when his contract expired, he before he re-signed with TNA, he tried to see if maybe there was any interest in him from WWE, and it was said that there wasn't. So he went ahead and re-signed with TNA. And there were people when Samoa Joe's contract signed said that he should have. Samoa Joe actually just ended up negotiating and re-signing with TNA. But, people were saying that, I heard some people saying that maybe he should have tried to see if there was any interest in WWE, but he never did. He was happy where he was, so he stayed with TNA. Now, Nash is there. Nash can say, hey, give this guy a shot. This guy worked with TNA. He's really good. Trust me, I'm going to give him a shot. Offer him some money. You offer some of these TNA guys a bigger paycheck, they might be willing to leave TNA and go to WWE. Vince could do it. He got Christian to come back. He got Gail Kim to go back. And Gail Kim's smart. She knew that she wasn't going to be used as well in WWE as she was used in TNA. But he offered her enough money and she went. Who's to say that Vince doesn't see some other TNA guy? I've always asked this question to people, and I've never really gotten a straight answer. People always talk about how TNA has to push their homegrown talent and create their own star. And my question is, if they were able to do that, or well, I'm not gonna say, well, I believe they can. When they eventually are able to do that, how do they keep that guy from getting stolen away by Vince McMahon? Say they take this dude, this new guy that just showed up, Crimson. Say they book Crimson well, they push him good, they promote him, they advertise him, and he becomes a legitimate draw. Not a huge, I'm not saying like John Cena level, but say he becomes as much of a draw as, say, The Miz, or maybe close to Orton level. Say he becomes a legitimate draw for TNA. The ratings are up to like a consistent 2.0 because people are tuning in to see Crimson. Ticket sales to house shows are up significantly because people are buying tickets to see Crimson. Pay-per-view buys are up. They say the average TNA pay-per-view gets about 25 to 30,000 buys. So say now they start averaging 70 to 80,000 buys because people are buying pay-per-views to see Crimson. He's a legitimate star, a legitimate draw for TNA. What's to stop Vince McMahon from just throwing enough money at him, more than Dixie Carter can afford to pay? Because even if they are getting consistent 2.0s and more ticket sales and buy rates, it won't be enough to compete with Vince McMahon's checkbook. What's to stop Vince McMahon from going to Crimson and saying, "I'll pay you 3 times what Dixie Carter's paying you. Come work for me." Just to take away their top guy. Just saying. Vice versa, Nash and Booker and possibly Steen being in WWE could actually get some guys to give TNA a shot. Maybe they talk to, again, they're still, Nash and Steen left TNA on pretty good terms. So, well, if Sting is gone, he's still on good terms. So maybe they talk to some guys on the lower card in WWE that aren't happy with their spot, and maybe they say, "Look, maybe I could put in a good word for you at TNA. Give them a shot. I think they'll treat you good." Maybe somebody like Zack Ryder, for example, who I feel is one of the most wasted pieces of talent. I mean, the guy is good in the ring. He's entertaining. He has a fan base already. He has a loyal fan base, and I think he just wasted potential in him. Maybe somebody, Nash or Booker or Steen, said, "You know what? Maybe you give TNA a shot. I know some people in charge there. I can put in a good word for you. I think they'll treat you good, Zach. Go over there, see what you can do there." People have done that before. People have left WWE and gone to TNA just because they thought they'd get better treatment. Christian did. Matt Hardy did. Jeff Hardy did. There's just a concept I haven't heard anybody talk about. I want to wait and see what happens. Maybe we see more people willing to jump ship from TNA to WWE or WWE to TNA after, because now there's somebody in WWE who's got friends in both companies, and Nash is left on good terms with Dixie Carter. He's on good terms with Hogan and Bischoff and management. He's really good buddies with Triple H, who's got an end. So, he's got friends in high places in both companies. Think about that. Now, my next topic, the next topic I want to tell you is going to be the longest topic, so I'm going to wait. So, next I'm going to do my Elimination Chamber predictions. So, I'm going to just do some short predictions on the pay-per-view. I gotta be honest, I wasn't too hyped for the TNA pay-per-view last week, and I'm not that hyped for this pay-per-view this week. WWE has a knack for getting people to think something, be really sure of something happening, and then sort of throwing a good swerve at us, an unexpected swerve. So I'm expecting some kind of swerve to happen here, because many times I've been going into a WWE pay-per-view, I'm like, this is predictable. We all know what's going to happen. And they'll throw a little swerve at us like, bam, didn't see that coming. They're really good at that and stuff. So I'm expecting something this time, because I'm really not excited for this pay-per-view at all. Let's break it down. We have the Raw Elimination Chamber match. It is a number 1 contenders match. The winner will face the WWE Champion at WrestleMania. We have our competitors are CM Punk, Sheamus, Randy Orton, R-Truth, John Morrison, and John Cena. Right off the bat, Truth ain't winning. Miz is heel, so that would eliminate Sheamus and CM Punk. So that leaves Orton, Morrison, and Cena. Everyone's expecting it to be Cena, and I kind of could, because The Rock came back and he said that stuff about Cena, and now people are thinking Cena versus The Rock. Because I don't think Cena versus Rock will happen, I'm picking him to win this match. I think Cena's gonna win, face the Miz at Mania, and The Rock will be the special guest referee. That's what I'm expecting. But I will predict this: if Cena, I will make a prediction for WrestleMania on this pay-per-view. If John Cena does not win the Raw Elimination Chamber, if John Cena is not the man going for the title at WrestleMania, then I predict he will face The Rock at Mania. Because I can't see John Cena doing anything else. The only other thing I can see John Cena doing at WrestleMania is 3 things. 1, he faces The Rock. 2, he's in the championship match. 3, he enters Money in the Bank, wins Money in the Bank, and cashes in the same night. Now, of course, if Cena doesn't win, who's going to face Miz? The only other guy that looks credible that I could see happening would be John Morrison, but that just doesn't scream WrestleMania to me. I know a lot of the IWC would want it, but Miz versus John Morrison, that doesn't scream WrestleMania main event to me, especially considering the fact that the SmackDown main event is most likely going to be Edge versus Alberto Del Rio, which also doesn't scream WrestleMania Championship main event to me either. So I'm going to pick Cena to win. Speaking of the WWE title, we have the WWE title match, The Miz versus Jerry the King Lawler. Now, I made my prediction for the Chamber match based on the concept that The Miz was going to be the champion, but I'm not totally sure. It's because we're talking about WWE here. If this was TNA, then it would be Miz, no question. TNA puts a belt on a guy, they usually leave it on for a while. They really rarely do they hotshot a belt. You know, this Anderson only having the belt for a month, that's an anomaly. That's very rare. If you look back through TNA, rarely do they give guys short title runs. Okay? Usually when TNA put the world title on a guy, it's because they see him as champion for several months. It's very, very rare that they will give a guy a very short title run. Not the same with WWE. They're very well known for hot-shotting titles on a guy for a short period of time. You know, Sheamus won the WWE title in December 2009. Then February 2010, he lost at the Chamber. Now they have a WWE has a more of a track record of hot-shotting a belt on the guys for very short title reigns. So I honestly wouldn't be surprised for the King to win this match. But I mean, I can see him winning the match and then losing the belt back to Miz the very next night on Raw. For some reason, I'm still predicting. I mean, Miz will be champion going into WrestleMania. I have no doubt about that. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to pick Jerry the King Lawler to defeat the Miz, win the WWE title, but he will lose the belt back to Miz in their rematch with either the very next night or the week. Like whenever the Miz Lawler rematch is, Miz will get the belt back. Miz will be the champion going to WrestleMania, but I'm going to pick Lawler to win the title. All right. Next we have Alberto Del Rio versus Kofi Kingston. Now, I'm looking at the preview here on WWE.com. I'm not sure if this is for the Intercontinental title or not. I'm looking. It doesn't say. But I can see Alberto Del Rio getting the WWE title and then losing at WrestleMania. I don't expect him to win the world title at WrestleMania. I think it would be way too soon. And even WWE usually doesn't hotshot a belt on the guy this quickly. Title or not, I can't see Del Rio lose this match. So if it's a title match, he's going to be the new Intercontinental Champion. If it's not a title match, he'll win anyway. So, yeah, Del Rio all the way, no question about it. Let's see. We have tag team title match. Santino Marella and Vladimir Kozlov defend against Heath Slater and Justin Gabriel of the Core. Yeah, Santino and Kozlov. Does anybody really care about them being champions? They're a comic relief bit. They can still be funny without the belts. And the core needs something to legitimize them, especially going into WrestleMania if they're going to be in the big match. Yeah, I'm going to go with Slater and Gabriel to win the belts back. Of course, there is the possibility of the new Nexus interfering. I mean, Punk's in a match, but the rest of them are free. Nah, I'm going with Slater and Gabriel to win the belts. And we have the SmackDown Elimination Chamber match for the World Heavyweight title. As of right now, there are only 5 participants in the match because on SmackDown, well, in my time it was this morning for me, but it was like last night for you by the time you see this video, but for me it was this morning. um, Theodore Long fired Drew McIntyre because they revealed that he was the one who attacked him and put him out. So he is out of the match. So we got an open spot in this world title match. We have the champion Edge defending against Kane, Drew McIntyre, Rey Mysterio, and Wade Barrett. Now, a lot of people are expecting Edge to win, but I think this may be that unexpected swerve. I'm going to pick Rey Mysterio to win the title. I mean, Mysterio and Del Rio have been feuding forever, so why not do that and have them face each other for the title at WrestleMania? Of course, there's this thing about Dash and Cody Rhodes coming back and doing this angle with Rey because Rey broke his nose, and some people are saying they might do that at WrestleMania. Have Cody Rhodes come back and challenge Rey for WrestleMania. That's a possibility too. Plus, out Del Rio Edge is good enough. You know what? No. The fact that we don't have a sixth man anymore is what's throwing me off. Who could be that sixth man? You know, there's a lot of different concepts that can happen depending on what happens in the previous matches. Because let's look at some possibilities. Remember in 2009, I think it was 2009, Edge was in the chamber. He was the WWE champion. He went into the chamber. He lost in the SmackDown chamber and lost the WWE title to Triple H. And then he attacked Kofi Kingston and entered the Raw chamber and he won the world title. Well, I could see something like that happens. What if, like, Jerry Lawler beats the Miz, and then the Miz enters the SmackDown chamber and wins the World Heavyweight title? Then Alberto Del Rio decides to change his mind, because he could still change. Because he said he was going to face the world title champion, but he can say, you know what, I changed my mind. I'd rather come to Raw and take on Lawler. That's a possibility. What concept do we have? There's the possibility of The Undertaker returning. That's always a possibility. Christian could come back. I heard some people say Triple H, but why would if Triple H comes back, why would he come back to the SmackDown chamber? He would show up on Raw and go after Sheamus. I don't see any reason for him to show up on SmackDown. So I'm going to predict that the plus Kane and Wade Barrett are in the match, and Undertaker wants revenge on both of them. So yeah, I'm going to pick Undertaker to be the guy who returns and takes the 6th spot. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say Edge. Yeah, Edge is going to win. I think that's all of the matches. Let me check to see if I... Raw, Chamber, SmackDown, Chamber, Miz. Yeah. Seems like it's kind of a small card. They might throw in like a Divas match in there for something else. Alright, on to the main topic that I want to talk about. I put out a video a couple days ago talking about why TNA shouldn't try to go PG and how you can how TNA shouldn't try to go Attitude Era. I was saying they shouldn't try to go Attitude Era, and that you could be PG and still appeal to adults. No, talking about everybody always talks about how wrestling has lost fans to MMA, and they always bring up that same demographic, that 18 to 34-year-old male demographic. And I guess my question is, why is that the only demographic that gets brought up? There's so many other types of people in America that you could be that you could appeal to and get to watch your show. Yeah, okay, maybe MMA has the 18 to 34-year-old male. Okay, point your show towards someone else. Okay, MMA serving the 18 to 34-year-old male. Okay, they got that demographic. WWE has gone PG and serving a much younger crowd. They have that demographic. Well, when I think about TNA, I'm like, well, who's their demographic? I think that TNA does try to please a lot of different people. And I think you can. I think you can appeal to a lot of different people, but you just can't try to appeal to them all at once. There's that old saying, I used to remember reading it. It says, I can only please one person a day, and today ain't your day. Tomorrow ain't looking too good either. I think you can appeal to different demographics, but you can't do them all at the same time. Maybe just do 2 demographics a week and just say, look, this ain't your week. Today we're appealing to people who like this, and then next week we're going to look at this group. Or just try to fit, and then find out which group gives you the best response, and then the more of a response you get, you start tailoring your show more to the group who gives you the better response. But getting off topic, the point is there's other demographics other than the 18 to 34-year-old male. Like I said, WWE has proven you can make money from being PG. They were PG in the 80s. They've gone back to doing PG, and it's doing just fine for them. Look, a lot of little kids love John Cena. I'm from the U.S., but I live in Korea now. And, the last time I went back to the U.S. Was for a few months in 2010. And I remember my cousin's son had a birthday party. He's about 12, I think. And he had a big John Cena cake. He loved John Cena. He had a big John Cena cake. It was a big bright orange cake. It had the orange and blue "You Can't See Me" logo. I'll put up a picture. This logo right here. Look. That was his cake. Imagine that in cake form. I wonder how it tastes. I didn't eat any of it. I don't eat store-bought cake. I hate store-bought cake. They too sugary for me, but I like a good homemade cake. But anyway, the point is there's other demographics, I've mentioned before in my videos that TNA could try. I'm not saying they should. I'm just saying I don't think it would hurt to try. What about giving Orlando Jordan a legitimate push and see if that could attract somebody, and talk about the fact that he's bisexual? Maybe that would attract some of the gay, lesbian, bisexual community. There's got to be gay, lesbian, bisexual people who like wrestling. Hell, if you gay, why wouldn't you? If you're a gay man, if you're a lesbian, you got divas and knockouts to look at. If you're a gay man, it's a bunch of muscular, shirtless, sweaty men. I always thought wrestling must be like softcore porn for a gay dude. Think about it. If you're a gay dude, bunch of big, muscular, shirtless, sweaty men in little bitty tights, just getting all sweaty, rolling around on the mat, wrestling on each other. I imagine for a gay dude, that's probably really a big turn on. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. And probably making some of y'all feel uncomfortable. But what if they did that? I'm not guaranteeing. I'm not saying, oh, do it, I guarantee it'll work. I'm saying it could work, and it wouldn't hurt to try. Maybe if you portray Orlando Jordan instead of being a dumb Goldust rip-off stereotype, and actually talk about the fact that he's a bisexual man, and do some storylines, a storyline based around it. And I've always talked about about him feuding with Bully Ray. I thought that's what I would do. Or that's what I would try. But, maybe the gay, lesbian, bisexual community might see this character and like, you know what? That's a character I can relate to. I always thought it would appeal to, it could appeal to a lot of them. If he's the babyface being attacked by this heel Bully Ray because of who he is, because of his sexual orientation, that's emotional for people. That's emotional. That's emotional involvement for every gay, lesbian, bisexual person who has ever been picked on, who's ever been harassed, who's ever been afraid to come out of the closet for fear they'll be rejected by their friends and family. He could be somebody that they look at and enjoy and love him, and he could be a role model. He could be a positive role model for young gay, lesbian, bisexual teens or older people. I'm not guaranteeing. I'm saying it could work. I don't see any harm in trying it. And those people would then be interested in your show. I did a little research to prepare for this video. I think I mentioned this in an earlier video. According to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, I believe this was from 2004. I forgot to write down the year that they put this out. America's estimated gay, lesbian, bisexual population is estimated at 8.8 million people. That's 8.8 million people that could be watching your show, buying tickets to live events, and ordering pay-per-views to see Orlando Jordan. Sure, you're not gonna get all of them, but Hell, if you get 1 million of them, 500,000, that's significant. That's pretty significant for TV ratings. If we could get an extra 500,000 people to watch Impact every week, does it matter who those 500,000 people are? If you can get an extra 500,000 people, a portion of them willing to buy tickets to your shows and order your pay-per-views, not all 500,000, but say you can get 100,000, 200,000 of those people to start buying TNA pay-per-views to see, because they want to see their bisexual hero Orlando Jordan, because he's somebody that they have an emotional connection to. They want to see him. They want to support him. It's good for your ticket sales. It's good for your pay-per-view buys. And if you're selling tickets and getting pay-per-view buys, who the hell cares who the people are buying the tickets and ordering the shows? Hey, gay people, gay, lesbian, bisexual money, they spend the same green money that the rest of y'all spend. That's all I'm saying. But, hey, couldn't hurt to try. I'm not certain that it will work. Couldn't hurt to try. If the push don't work, kill the push and release them. At least you tried. And I think about some of the other shows on TV that are very popular. Wow, I'm at 26 minutes. Damn. Okay, well, I'm on a roll. Might as well keep going. If you listen to this whole video, thank you very much. I think about some of these reality shows on TV that get huge numbers. Shows like Jersey Shore and Hoarders and Pawn Stars and all these other reality shows that I don't watch, but they get monster ratings. I think wrestling needs, especially TNA, needs to start doing some market research. Do some focus groups and talk to people. Don't do stupid focus groups and ask them what was your favorite time in wrestling and then bring back ECW. If you're going to do it again, go to Atlanta and do it next time so I can get a WCW reunion. I would like to see Diamond Dallas Page again. Love DDP. But off topic again. Talk about what your favorite television shows are. Do a focus group where you ask people where you don't talk to necessarily wrestling fans. Ask them ask people what their favorite TV shows are. What are the shows that they watch every week on a consistent basis? Ask them what appeals to those shows. Ask them about their favorite characters and what appeals them, what draws them to that character. Ask people their opinions on how you think you could incorporate that into a wrestling show. Ask people, hey, if we had a character like this on our wrestling show, would you be more likely to watch our show? Find out what draws people to watch Jersey Shore all the time. All right. What about those people make people want to watch them? What draws people to all these other reality shows that get such huge numbers, that are getting, Real Housewives and all that stuff, and something draws people to these shows, so find out what it is. Let's see, what else? I think what makes these shows appeal to people is the characters. I think these shows have interesting characters that people are interested in. I think characters is what drove wrestling to its boom in the 80s, what drove it in the Attitude Era, and I think that's what wrestling has been sorely missing for the past few years. I think more so WWE, but it wouldn't hurt anybody else. I think wrestling has failed to develop characters anymore. People don't have unique and interesting personalities like they did during the Attitude Era and like they did during the boom in the 80s. You talk about the boom in the 80s, it was more cartoon, but every wrestler had a gimmick, a distinct character that made them different. Attitude Era was the same. Everybody was different. You could say there were distinct differences between Stone Cold and The Rock and Triple H and the Nation of Domination and Ahmed Johnson and Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. They were all different. They had unique and interesting characters. And I think that's lacking today. It seems like when I look at WWE, everybody's trying to be a smiling baby face with no personality at all. Except for like John Cena and Randy Orton, most of the baby faces are like just come out, smile and wave, and they don't really do anything. Every heel is trying to be a badass. Everybody trying to be a badass heel, And if everybody's a badass, then nobody is, And I don't know what caused the bland, smiling babyface thing to happen, but as far as the everybody trying to be a badass heel, I blame two things. I blame the success of badass heels such as Triple H, who was a badass heel and he was really successful, super over. So other people trying to imitate that. And you had badass heels like the NWO, which were really popular. There's been some really successful characters that were badass heels, so more people want to try it to see if they can do it. Second thing is a lot of the wrestling fans who are trying to turn wrestling into MMA. People need to accept the fact that MMA is a real sport with real athletes. Pro wrestling is a show. It is a athletic television show, but it is still a television show. If a TV show has characters that are all alike, then it's boring and no one watches it. Do you watch any show where every character is the same damn thing? Because to me that would be boring. When I watch TV shows, the shows I watch, that everybody's different. Hell, except for WWE. Anyway, I'm out of breath and I'm at over 30 minutes. So, if you listen to this entire 30 minutes, thank you very much for listening. This is the Shadow Ranger. Have a nice day.